Hey cats, Ed Cologne Bud here. That's better. When the going get tough, the tough drive on the terrible roads between Yeovil and Bristol for the Great Bristol Run Half Marathon. Today I've got my race preview for that event and also some shoe selection discussion. Let's get to it. Hey there friends, shoe enthusiasts unite and take over. Ed, worn out Bud here. I'm just about ready for a taper week, which is good because I got a race next weekend. Today a little preview for you of the Great Bristol Run Half Marathon. This one's happening on the 19th of September and I'm very excited about it. Been a while since I raced a half marathon, back in 2020 in fact. Seems like light years ago. In fact, an afternoon seems like a century at the moment. It's good to have a few races back in the calendar. Also looking at doing the Salisbury Half Marathon on October 3rd, and then possibly the Bournemouth 10K as well, which is the following weekend. I think there's a couple of 5K races as part of that Bournemouth event as well on the Saturday. I wouldn't mind doing the one in the evening. Then I could go and have a nice glass of beer, maybe some Italian food, checking on some live jazz. Maybe not. Does seem a little bit expensive though, those 5K races. Judging by that they've got all the equipment and apparatus set up for the other races, yeah, I think I'll probably avoid the 5K and go for the 10. I understand that it costs a lot of money to put these things on, but yeah, for a 5K, it'll be over and done in under 20 minutes. That's like £1 a minute or something. It's madness. So on the Great Bristol Run, we got a 13.1 mile route. I think it does utilise a portion of the 10K course. Mainly the final 4 or so miles is at the tail end of the half marathon there. There are a couple of split or kind of decision areas, they call them, that I need to take note of and make sure I take the turn rather than go straight on. I think they're towards the end of the first mile and then midway through the 12th mile. There's a portion of run along the Portway there, which is about 4 or 5 miles by the looks of it. There's a double back at the end. I'm used to those by now. There's a refreshment area around about 2.5 miles and then one about 9.5 miles. I think the Portway area looks relatively straightforward, though there's lots of twists and turns as you head back towards the city centre. I think from about mile 9 onwards, I'll have to keep my wits about me. Could prove to be a little bit of a distraction. It's a little bit different to running around the trading estate here in Yeovil, but fortunately the Great Bristol Run Half Marathon has nowhere near the same elevation as the Penmill trading estate, or the Yeovil Half Marathon for that matter. You guys may remember when I took on a time trial on the half marathon distance back earlier this year. I finished in 1 hour 30 minutes and 18 seconds. And I was pretty tuckered out by the end. I think it's about 609 foot of elevation on that one. So I certainly didn't make it easy for myself. I think it's about 200 metres or something like that. This far less on the Great Bristol Half, so yeah, should be alright from that aspect. It'll be more about the engine and the legs. A much more flat and forgiving course here, free of elevation gain. Almost. Guys, if you're enjoying the video today and you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when I launch the new videos for you. And it really does help the channel out if you give this video a thumbs up like. Dankeschön. If you are attending the Great Bristol Run, let me know down in the comments. It'd be great to meet some of the regular viewers. I'm really looking forward to actually doing a race with lots and lots of people. And with music as we go round. And that brings me very, very smoothly onto the fact that this race actually is on closed roads. So for once, if I wanted to, I could actually listen to music as I went round the half marathon route. You guys know I love my music and it does seem to have a very propulsive and positive effect on my running performance. Perhaps it increases the endorphin production or something, and I can maintain the faster pace for longer and further. That means that rather than sort of running alone and without pacers here, don't forget guys, they're sending everybody off in waves, so we won't get the typical people running along with those flags on with the time that you sort of look at and then slowly see disappear into the distance. Obviously there'll be other competitors, but I don't know if they'll be doing the same distance as me. Some people will be doing the 10K. It'll be hard to know. But it does mean in this case I can enlist the help of Angus and Malcolm Young. Lemmy from Motorhead could help me out as well. Perhaps even Bristol's own Ronnie Size and DJ Crust. Yeah, some V recordings, that would help me get around the course. I have to be honest, I do like running without music some days and just listen to the wonderful bird sound and the bin lorry. But for once actually to be able to listen to some music with some decent headphones actually is a real boon. It's one that I I'm finding very hard to turn down. To have access to some energy challenging, cadence improving music could really help out. I remember doing that time trial actually. I got to near the end of it and Everybody in the Place by The Prodigy came on, and that gave me a bit of extra impetus, I suppose. Although I kept thinking about emus for some reason at that point. I think they may have had an emu in the video for that track. There we go. You could think about an emu maybe chasing you, trying to peck you with its beak. It's looking like a dry day next Sunday. I think there's very little chance of any rain that day, and wind looks to be quite light. I don't know how they can guess what the wind's going to be like, but it seems to be quite low. Much lower than it normally is here anyway. I reckon it could be around 15 C, which is about 59 Fahrenheit. So it's probably not your perfect textbook weather for a half marathon or a race, but hey, when is it ever like that? I always struggle when it's hot. I seem to work so much better when it's cool. When I did that time trial, apparently it was 1 degree. So that says it all, doesn't it? I'm just designed for cool weather. And I can get grandma's socks out again as well. I just like it cool and dull. You never know though, guys. The weather in the UK is more changeable than the Conservative Party's manifesto promises. So I'm expecting dry weather, but I won't be bowled over if there's some rain. Could even help to cool me down a little bit. That'll be good. Let's talk time now. So time-wise, I'm going to make a prediction here. 1 hour, 29 minutes and 59 seconds. There we go, I said it. Or anything below that will be absolutely fantastic. And I'll fill my heart with joy and put a big smile on my face. Even if I just get nice and close to that 1:30, that'll be cool. I promise. Many a mile has gone into improving the engine over the last couple of years, and now races are coming back. You know, I've got to be honest, I will be slightly gutted if I don't manage it. But then again, I'll be running a race and it'll be good fun. And there'll be loads of people enjoying themselves, and that's what life's all about. I know that I can replicate some of those training paces now. I know I can do it. New course, an actual race, and the buzz and the adrenaline as well. I think that might just edge it for me. Shoe-wise, well, I'm none the wiser, guys. What should I go for? I think the Next Percent 2 is probably a good option. I've proved in training that actually works really well for me. I think we got about 65, 67 something miles into this one. It's still very, very useful. Lots and lots of squash and compression and propulsion there. It feels really nice now. Perhaps even better than it did when I took it out of the box. Maybe the Adios Pro 2, although we're still seeing all the top elites utilising the Next Percent, aren't we? Certainly in the Great North Run, I think there was a couple of people finishing in the Next Percent 2 there. Galen Rupp. Someone had some Skechers shoes as well. I thought that was pretty cool. So I think both the Nike and the Adidas need to be in contention. Though I've got to be honest, I've been really enjoying that Puma Deviate Nitro Elite. Lots of faster paced miles mashed into this shoe already. I'm finding that 10.5 UK nice and fitting, a little bit lighter, and it's turning into be a real killer of a shoe. Certainly for the cash as well. It's quite a bit cheaper than some of the other options out there. I think it's got to be in contention as well. We'll see how I feel this week. I have so many colourways of the Adios Pro 2 and the Next Percent 2 out now. I've been trying to talk myself out of getting a new one. Maybe dropping down to a UK 11 just to give me a slightly more snug fit. Bought those other two pairs really as marathon shoes. I think I could probably get away with a UK 11 in both of them. Sizing's kind of weird on both the pairs I've got right now. They're both UK 11.5s. Nike suggests that the Next Percent 2 in that size should be 30.5 centimetres, and I think the Adidas one says about 28.9 or something. I don't think it's worth the £200+ gamble of going down half a size, especially this close to the race. Will a few grams less make all that difference? I don't know. The big deciding factor though, guys, could be a nasty surprise that I found when I looked at my pair of Adios Pro 2s. No idea how this has happened, but the shorter rubber section and the outsole is coming off and loosening. Really sad to see this after about 53 miles or about 85 kilometers of use. I think the Light Strike Pro foam's just so soft, and where it flexes and moves so much, I think the rubber's just started to pull away. So, I mean, I could put some extra glue on there and stick it back down, but it's in my mind now. What about the other one? I just had a look on the other one and, yeah, it's kind of the same. In my mind, this is a little bit like taking a guitar out on the road and knowing that there's some sort of intonation or electrical problem with it, and it could happen at any moment that it could fail. That's the last thing I want during a race. I'm not going to shell out another 180 Earth credits for another pair of these, so I think I'll probably try and decide between the Next Percent 2 and the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite. So what are your time predictions, people? Let me know down in the comments. And also let me know which shoe you think I should utilise. Which one do you feel has got the best from me over the last year or so. Okay, it's taper time. A quick musical interlude for you, a very quick one. Guys, you know in yesterday's video I reviewed Andrew WK. There's one track that is particularly good, I think possibly the best track from the whole album. I didn't mention it. It's towards the end of the album, it's called I Made It. Do be careful though, it's got some explicit lyrics. Possibly the most positive track on the whole album. You can really see yourself running down the road, full power. Absolutely gunning it, and Andrew's in fine voice on this one. There's an awesome guitar and piano combo riff that really sets the track off like a Catherine wheel. I do urge you to go and check out this album, guys. It really is fantastic. Andrew WK's God is Partying. I'm still not entirely sure what that's all about. Thanks for tuning in, it's always appreciated. Make sure, guys, you hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when we launch those new videos for you. Helps out too if you give this video a thumbs up, like, and also share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you